Too early delivery or late delivery of the ball into the box can destabilize your team. And in turn, if your opponent counters, it can cost your team the game in a situation of counter-attack. That's why you have to learn how to cross the ball properly, either early or late. Either you delay or you cross early. That's why in this video, you're gonna learn how to cross the ball properly with the right technique and with a professional touch from me. And if you're joining this channel for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and like and comment. Turn on your notification bell to be able to get my weekly update regarding football tutorials. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Coach Charles. So without more further ado, without wasting time, follow me. Let me teach you how you can get a better crossing technique done. Come on, let's go. The first display we are going to do, or the first technique we are going to try, or the first crossing technique variation we are going to perform is the standard crossing. The standard crossing is the crossing that you do. It can be anywhere close to this line. It can be anywhere close to towards the end of the line. But the major key you have to put into consideration is the fact that the standard crossing I'll call it the whip. You have to whip it in with curve, direction and pressure. Curve, direction and pressure. And definitely it must be with your inside of the foot. So what you have to do when doing the standard crossing, you will use here. It's like when you're playing a free kick and give a spin. Right. So what you have to do is make sure you use the inside of the foot, but one thing you have to put in consideration is you must take a final touch towards this line. Final touch before you whip. When you are crossing this ball, normally it's always you have to do it towards this area. You shouldn't be halfway crossing. Halfway crossing is different. This is not halfway crossing. But you must take one last touch. You must take the final touch before you wipe in. You must take one last touch before you wipe it in. And you should use here, give it a curve, because the quality of the cross inside the box will determine how the players will deal with it. The quality of the cross inside the box will determine how the players will deal with it. Because if your cross is weak, if you're doing a standard crossing and it's weak, it didn't come with pressure, then it's very easy for keeper to deal with it. Crossing should come with a whip. Should come with a whip, and with your inside of the foot, give it a spin. That is gonna make it to be dangerous. That is the only way you can make it dangerous. The crossing will be dangerous if it comes with pressure, spin and direction. Pressure, spin and direction. Because if it's spinning and a player puts the head, little bit of touch on the head, the spin will continue. It will continue you will change the direction of the spin from clockwise to anti-clockwise. Then it becomes dangerous for the keeper to deal with. So guys, let me show you this. See? In a situation whereby you have more players, the halfway crossing is the cross I call it an emergency cross. because this can be done not just by the winger. The halfway crossing can be done not just by the winger, it can be done by a midfielder, it can be done by left or right fullback. The right fullback or left fullback can do it. Let's say 3 versus 2. You have 3 versus 2 inside the box, and you know that maybe 2 of those players, you should know your teammates very well. It's important to know your teammates. That will determine when you should cross or when you should not cross. What do I mean? What I mean is, if you see a situation whereby you have 3 versus 2 or 4 versus 2, maybe your team is pressing, you have 4 versus 2, which is likely sometimes doesn't happen, but it happens in a situation whereby your team is countering. Then let's say the ball is coming from the right fullback from that side. If the ball is coming from that side, and this is the halfway line, halfway line, you don't have to wait until you get to the end of the line before you cross. You don't have to wait until you get to the end of the line before you cross. Now, because you see 3 persons against 2 or 4 versus 2 is already inside the box, you have to cross the ball early. That's when you do the halfway line crossing. You have to cross the ball early. You don't have to start taking 2 or 3 more touches to get to the end of the line before you whip the ball. So the halfway line can be done from here. But the disadvantage is this, is somehow it's only going to result to a goal if the people inside the box can control it. It's not necessarily going to cause or result to a goal or give you a goal with nothing. Sometimes, unless maybe it's nothing that has to do with nothing back, or if the quality of the cross comes in heavy, strong, with good pressure, then a little bit of spin can put it inside the ball, inside the net. The halfway line from here, yeah, you drop the ball, you drop it, you whip it early. You whip it early before your opponents arrive. So guys, let's get it done. Unlike the halfway crossing, which involves you to cross the ball early when you have more players inside the box, or when you have more players in between the box or around the box. They have the pullback crossing. The pullback crossing is the crossing you do when you have less people inside the box. Then if you find less players, your teammate inside the box, what you have to do is to look outside the box. If you look outside the box, you have to be fast in taking your decision. If you look outside the box, definitely you must see some players trying to support the attack. The players trying to support the attack are the ones you're going to use to execute the pullback crossing. And sometimes it's mostly maybe the central midfielder. The central midfielder, the attacking midfielder. It can also be the defensive midfielder if it is mobile enough. Somebody like Kante can run the field around. He can run the field. He can go and return in 1 minute. So somebody like him can be coming to support the attack when you have less teammates in the box. That is when you execute the pullback crossing. Instead of crossing the ball inside the box, you pull it back. And most of the time, majority of the time, the pullback crossing has to be low driven. It has to be done on the ground, so that the person who is arriving will take a one shot, take it one time. The person who is arriving will take it one time. You can, depend on how the ball, depend on the movement of the ball or the pressure of the ball, you can choose to take a first touch. Take a first touch, then you shoot. But if you don't want to take a first touch, if you want to make it fast, you don't have to just touch a fullback crossing. Okay, this clip you have to see is an example of a pullback crossing. This clip I'm going to show you is example of a pullback crossing. That is when you have less opponents inside the box, but you have maybe midfielders who are supporting the attack coming. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, share, like and subscribe to be able to get more updates or my weekly update this channel. And the next time, I'm your humble host and coach, Charles. See ya.